be less curious about people and more curious about ideas. Life is not easy for any of us. But what of that? We must have perseverance and above all confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something and that this thing must be attained. You cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individuals. To that end each of us must work for our own improvement and, at the same time, share a general responsibility for all humanity, our particular duty being to aid those to whom we think can be most useful. We must have perseverance and above all confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something. Scientists believe in things, not in person. A scientist in his laboratory is not a mere technician, he is also a child confronting natural phenomena that impress him as though they were fairy tales. We must not forget that when radium was discovered no one knew that it would prove useful in hospitals. The work was one of pure science. And this is a proof that scientific work must not be considered from the point of view of the direct usefulness of it. It must be done for itself, for the beauty of science, and then there is always the chance that a scientific discovery may become like the radium, a benefit for mankind. One never notices what has been done, one can only see what remains to be done. All my life through, the new sights of nature made me rejoice like a child. You must never be fearful of what you are doing when it is right. Certain bodies become luminous when heated. Their luminosity disappears after some time, but the capacity of becoming luminous afresh through heat is restored to them by the action of a spark, and also by the action of radium. I am one of those who think, like Nobel, that humanity will draw more good than evil from new discoveries. For the admirable gift of himself, and for the magnificent service he renders humanity, what reward does our society offer the scientist? Have these servants of an idea the necessary means of work? Have they an assured existence, sheltered from care? The example of Pierre Curie, and of others, shows that they have none of these things, and that more often, before they can secure possible working conditions, they have to exhaust their youth and their powers in daily anxieties. Our society, in which reigns an eager desire for riches and luxury, does not understand the value of science. It does not realize that science is a most precious part of its moral patrimony. Nor does it take sufficient cognizance of the fact that science is at the base of all the progress that lightens the burden of life and lessens its suffering. Neither public powers nor private generosity actually accord to science and to scientists the support and the subsidies indispensable to fully effective work. Humanity also needs dreamers, for whom the disinterested development of an enterprise is so captivating that it becomes impossible for them to devote their care to their own material profit. Without doubt, these dreamers do not deserve wealth, because they do not desire it. Even so, a well-organized society should assure to such workers the efficient means of accomplishing their task, in a life freed from material care and freely consecrated to research. The older one gets, the more one feels that the present moment must be enjoyed, comparable to a state of grace. I was taught that the way of progress is neither swift nor easy. I am among those who think that science has great beauty. A scientist in his laboratory is not only a technician, he is also a child placed before natural phenomenon, which impress him like a fairy tale. Radium is not to enrich anyone. It is an element, it is for all people. So perished the hope founded on the wonderful being who thus ceased to be. In the study room to which he was never to return, the water buttercups he had brought from the country were still fresh. All that I saw and learned was a new delight to me. We must keep our certainty that after the bad days the good times will come again. First principle, never to let oneself be beaten down by persons or by events. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less. If one of us were to disappear, the other should not survive him. We couldn't exist without the other. Is not it? We cannot hope to build a better world without improving individuals. With this aim, each of us must work towards his own perfection, while accepting his own part in the general life of humanity, since our particular duty is to help those to whom we can be most useful. I am one of those people who believe that there is a wonderful beauty in science. The scientist in his lab is not just a technician, he's also a child put before a natural property that astonishes him like a fairy tale. We must not allow the belief that all scientific progress can be reduced to a mere mechanism, and I do not believe that the spirit of risk will disappear in our world. If I see anything full of vitality around me, it is precisely the spirit of risk that seems indestructible. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less.